Linux is no longer just an alternative operating system. Linux has now stepped into a phase where it's redefining how computing itself works. And before you jump into the comments saying, AI wrote this, just don't, because I'm a real-time human sharing real insight, and what you're about to hear might completely change the way you look at operating systems forever. There was a time when Linux was considered only for developers, hackers, or people who wanted to feel different from the mainstream, but today, that narrative is breaking apart faster than ever. And the reason is a new feature that quietly entered the ecosystem, yet has massive implications for the future of computing.
Imagine an operating system that doesn't just run your apps but adapts itself in real time, becomes more secure the more you use it, and allows you to run almost anything without worrying about compatibility issues. That's exactly where Linux is heading right now. This new feature is not just a small update or a minor improvement, it's a shift in philosophy. It's about making Linux not just powerful, but universally usable. For years, one of the biggest barriers for people switching from other operating systems was software compatibility. People would say, yeah, Linux is great, but can it run my apps? That question is now becoming irrelevant. The breakthrough comes from a combination of advanced containerization, system-level isolation, and seamless compatibility layers that are now deeply integrated into modern Linux distributions. Previously, tools like Wine or virtual machines were used, but they always felt like workarounds. They were functional, yes, but never perfect. Now, Linux is integrating these capabilities directly into the system architecture, making it feel native, fast, and almost invisible to the user. You install an app, and it just works. No tweaking, no terminal commands, no frustration. But that's only the surface. The real game changer is how Linux is now handling environments. Instead of a single rigid system, Linux is moving towards modular atomic systems. This means your entire operating system can update safely without breaking anything. If something goes wrong, you can instantly roll back to a previous state. Think about that for a second. No more system crashes after updates, no more hours wasted trying to fix broken packages. It's like having a time machine built into your OS. This concept is already being implemented in systems like Fedora Silverblue and OpenSUSE MicroOS, where the base system is immutable. What that means is the core of the system cannot be changed by regular operations, making it incredibly stable and secure. All applications run in isolated containers, so even if one app crashes or gets compromised, it doesn't affect the rest of the system. This level of security was once only seen in enterprise environments, but now it's coming to everyday users. Now let's talk about performance, because that's another area where Linux is quietly dominating. With this new feature set, Linux can allocate system resources more intelligently than ever before. Instead of treating all applications equally, it understands context. It knows which apps are critical and which are not. This leads to better battery life on laptops, smoother performance on low-end devices, and overall a more responsive experience. And here's where things get even more interesting. Linux is becoming the backbone of modern computing infrastructure. From cloud servers to smartphones, from supercomputers to embedded systems, Linux is everywhere. This new feature only strengthens that position. Developers can now build applications once and deploy them anywhere without worrying about compatibility. That's a dream scenario for software development, and it's becoming reality. Another major shift is happening in the user experience. For a long time, Linux struggled with consistency. Different distributions had different interfaces, different package managers, and different ways of doing things. But now, there's a move towards standardization. Universal package formats like Flatpak and Snap are making software distribution easier and more consistent. You don't have to worry about dependencies or system conflicts anymore. You just install the app and use it. This might not sound revolutionary at first, but think about what it means for new users. It removes one of the biggest pain points of Linux. No more hunting for the right version of a package, no more dealing with broken dependencies. It's simple, clean, and user-friendly. Security is another area where Linux is taking a massive leap forward. With this new architecture, applications are sandboxed by default. They have limited access to your system, which means even if an app is malicious, it can't do much damage. This is a huge improvement over traditional operating systems where apps often have too much access. And let's not forget privacy. In a world where data is constantly being collected and analyzed, Linux stands out as a system that respects user privacy. There are no hidden trackers, no forced data collection, and no unwanted background processes sending your information to unknown servers. This new feature reinforces that commitment by giving users even more control over their system. Now, you might be wondering, why is this happening now? The answer lies in the changing landscape of technology. As more people become aware of privacy issues and seek alternatives to mainstream operating systems, Linux is evolving to meet that demand. It's no longer just for tech enthusiasts. It's becoming a viable option for everyone. Big companies are also taking notice. Tech giants are investing heavily in Linux development. They see the potential and want to be part of it. This is leading to better hardware support, more polished software, and overall a more mature ecosystem. Gaming is another area where Linux is making huge progress. Thanks to compatibility layers like Proton, many Windows games can now run on Linux with little to no performance loss. This was unthinkable a few years ago. Gamers are starting to realize that they don't need to stick to one operating system anymore. The implications of this new feature go beyond just desktops and laptops. It's about the future of computing as a whole. Imagine a world where your operating system is not tied to a specific device. You can move your entire environment from one device to another seamlessly. That's the direction Linux is heading in. This also opens up possibilities for edge computing, where processing happens closer to the source of data rather than in centralized servers. Linux is perfectly suited for this because of its flexibility and efficiency. With the new feature set, deploying and managing applications on edge devices becomes much easier. Education is another sector that could benefit massively. Students can have a stable, secure, and free operating system that works on almost any hardware. Schools don't have to worry about licensing costs or compatibility issues. It's a win-win situation. But with all these advancements, there are still challenges. Adoption is one of them. Many people are used to what they know and are hesitant to switch. There's also the issue of certain specialized software that may not yet be fully supported. However, with the pace at which Linux is evolving, these gaps are closing quickly. Community plays a huge role in this ecosystem. Unlike proprietary systems, Linux is developed by a global community of contributors. This leads to rapid innovation and a diverse range of ideas. The new feature we're talking about is a result of years of collaboration and experimentation. One of the most fascinating aspects of Linux is its adaptability. It can run on a supercomputer or a tiny embedded device. This versatility is unmatched. With the new feature, this adaptability is taken to the next level. You can customize your system in ways that were not possible before. Let's talk about developers for a moment. For them, this is a golden age. The tools available on Linux are becoming more powerful and easier to use. With integrated environments and containerized workflows, developers can focus more on building and less on managing dependencies. This also means faster innovation. When developers have fewer barriers, they can experiment more and bring new ideas to life quickly. This benefits everyone, not just the tech community. Another interesting development is the integration of AI tools within the Linux ecosystem. These tools can help optimize system performance, detect security threats, and even assist in development tasks. It's like having a smart assistant built into your operating system. Now imagine combining all these elements: seamless compatibility, modular systems, enhanced security, improved performance, and intelligent automation. That's what this new Linux feature represents. It's not just a single change, it's a convergence of multiple innovations. The impact on businesses could be huge. Companies can reduce costs, improve security, and gain more control over their IT infrastructure. They are not locked into a single vendor and can customize their systems according to their needs. For individual users, it means more freedom. Freedom to choose, freedom to customize, and freedom from unnecessary restrictions. This aligns perfectly with the core philosophy of Linux, which is openness and collaboration. As we move forward, it's clear that Linux is not just keeping up with the competition, it's setting the pace. This new feature is a clear indication of where things are heading. It's about creating an ecosystem that is flexible, secure, and user-friendly. The question is not whether Linux can compete with other operating systems anymore. The real question is how long it will take for the rest of the world to catch up with what Linux is becoming. And here's the thing. Most people won't even realize when the shift happens. It will be gradual. More apps will become available, more devices will support it, and slowly but surely, Linux will become a mainstream choice. So if you've ever considered trying Linux, now might be the perfect time. The barriers are lower than ever, and the benefits are greater than ever. This new feature is just the beginning of a larger transformation. In the end, what we're witnessing is not just an update to an operating system, it's a redefinition of what an operating system can be. Linux is no longer playing catch-up. It's leading the way into a new era of computing, and that changes everything.